Hello, my fellow geopolitics nerds, data addicts, and people who enjoy watching governments throw tantrums on the world stage. Welcome back to the Deep Dive podcast. I'm your host, reporting live from my bunker of questionable coffee and even more questionable news headlines. And today we are diving into one of the most dramatic shows on Earth. Forget Netflix, forget HBO. The Chinese Communist Party's national honor defense machine, that is the real prestige drama. It's like, you insult China, you sneeze in Mandarin with the wrong tone, boom. The entire CPC bureaucracy mobilizes like you just declared war on Confucius himself. So let's talk about this beautifully absurd, heavily choreographed retaliation system the CPC deploys whenever it feels insulted. And look, I get it. Every country has national pride, but what we're going to explore here is how China has taken that idea and turned it into this huge, elaborate performance for everyone to see, both at home and abroad. To really get what's going on, you gotta know the backstory. The ideological fuel for this whole machine is what's known as the Century of Humiliation. This historical narrative is absolutely central to the party's identity. It means that any outside criticism isn't just a disagreement. It's seen as a direct attack on the nation's honor, kind of like poking an old wound. Okay, so let's get into this, because this is where it gets really interesting. The Chinese Communist Party hasn't just weaponized its history, they've industrialized it. They have systematically taken national pride and these, hurt feelings and built them into an actual formal political weapon. And that's not even an exaggeration. They took the concept of hurt feelings and turned it into a multi-layered political instrument with more moving parts than a badly designed IKEA bookshelf. We're talking about a massive state apparatus that can be switched on in a second. It's not just some angry editorials, it's a whole bureaucratic machine. And it's built on a foundation of dry, formal laws designed for exactly this kind of situation. And here are the actual cogs in that machine. I mean, these aren't just vague threats. They're real legal tools that give the whole performance some serious teeth. The export control law, that's the power to cut off key technologies. The data security law, it's a direct way to punish other countries for their data rules. And then you've got the big one, the unreliable entity list, which is basically a state-sanctioned burn book for foreign companies. So the thing about this list is, it's a direct weapon. If some foreign company is seen as endangering China's sovereignty or security, boom, the government can use this list to block their trade, kill their investments, and even ban their employees from entering the country. It's a formal way to hit back at specific companies and make an example out of them for everyone else to see. So once you understand the legal tools, the whole performance on the ground starts to make a lot more sense. We've all seen the routine. One government official somewhere says something like, hey, maybe Taiwan has opinions, and the CPC goes activate everything. Suddenly you've got state media blaring patriotic rage, you've got tourism bans, movie bans, even mango bans, whatever they can get their hands on. In this process, it almost always follows these 4 steps. First, the perceived insult. Second, state media and nationalist influencers start foaming at the mouth, like caffeinated chihuahuas. Third, the economic levers get pulled, trade restrictions, boycotts, you name it. And finally, you get the official diplomatic note that sounds like your angry high school principal. It's like watching an entire government roleplay as the world's most overprotective helicopter parent. And this is not a new thing at all. This exact pattern has played out over and over again for years. In 2016, Mongolia gets hit with import fees just for hosting the Dalai Lama. In 2018, Marriott has to shut down its website and publicly apologize because it listed Taiwan as a country. In 2019, one single tweet from an NBA manager gets the entire league blacked out in China. Every single time, the response is fast, it's severe, and it hits from multiple angles. And the recent situation with Japan is the perfect example of this playbook just scaled way up. After the prime minister made some comments about Taiwan, Beijing launched what the media called a mega campaign. It wasn't just one thing. It was this coordinated attack across all these different sectors. Tourism took a huge hit. Seafood exporters got punished. Academic conferences were canceled. Movies got postponed. It was a full-spectrum response, totally designed to inflict maximum pain. All right, quick breather from Global Theatrics. If you're enjoying today's episode, and if you're not, I assume you've already been blacklisted by the Ministry of Emotional Stability, go ahead and subscribe. Leave a review, too. Tell the algorithm that this podcast did not insult China's honor so we don't get retaliated against by your recommendation feed. Okay, so let's get to the central irony of this whole system. Because maybe the most tragic part of all these retaliation campaigns is who often ends up getting hurt the most. It really makes you wonder if these campaigns are a precise strategic tool or if they're just, an exercise in performative rage. So the intended target is obviously the foreign company or government. But the actual casualties? A lot of the time, it's Chinese citizens. Cancel all the flights to Japan? Well, Chinese tourists lose out on their vacations. Ban a movie? Chinese fans are the ones who can't see it. Block foreign goods? It's Chinese consumers and businesses that suffer. It's a geopolitical version of, I'll show you by punching myself. Beautiful. Efficient. Peak CPC logic. Just look at this number from the Japan incident. An €8 billion loss for Japan's economy? That's a huge deal, no doubt about it. But think about it. Who's causing that loss? It's hundreds of thousands of Chinese travelers canceling their tickets. That means Chinese airlines, Chinese travel agencies, and Chinese tourists themselves are the ones bearing the immediate cost and hassle of the government's anger, all just to send a message. So, after all that, what did we actually learn today? Let's do a quick recap of the big takeaways from this whole performance. So, to sum it all up, the CPC has basically turned national sensitivity into a full-time industrial complex, and it's built on a real legal framework. A lot of the retaliation we see is less about some precise strategy and more about the performance, the vibes of defending national honor. But maybe the biggest takeaway is that the people who get most inconvenienced are often China's own citizens, who get caught in the fallout of their own government's grand production. Huge thanks to our producer, the legendary FireflyHaku, who, unlike the CPC, does not retaliate whenever I mess up a line. If FireflyHaku ran a government, national outreach campaigns would be replaced with hot springs, snacks, and maybe just a stern look. Thank you all for tuning in. Stay curious, stay caffeinated, and remember, if you ever feel overly sensitive, at least you're not mobilizing a billion-dollar bureaucracy because someone mispronounced Beijing. See you next time on the Deep Dive podcast.